everybody. I'm David Bloom with Next TMT. I'm here with Trey Kennedy, a comedian who's made quite the career on TikTok and YouTube, but now he's getting into a much broader array of opportunities. For instance, he has a new special on Hulu. He's got a tour coming up in the fall. You are both traditional comedian and online creator, and you've got some interesting knowledge and experience about how to go from online to traditional media, which I think this area should be, or this whole show should be learning about. So talk a little bit about what you've done and how did you get from online to Hulu, for instance.
Yeah, that's kind of I never thought that would happen, but my whole career has just been in the right place, right time, kind of being early to things, like hopefully.
Other than the NBA.
Other than the NBA. Yeah, if you look back, third grade, I said that was, people say, what do you want to do? I was like, well, the NBA.
The NBA, yeah.
And fell just short of that. And then I got a finance degree. I don't know what I was doing with my life. Went viral in college on Vine. One thing led to another.
Oh, you were a Viner.
I was a Viner.
Wow.
So I've really
6 seconds at a time.
I met some folks around here who were involved back in the Vine days,
yeah.
But I never thought that would get me to have a special on Hulu. But
From 6 seconds to 60 minutes.
Yeah, and so I've just been taking it a day at a time, but I was able to go viral, build a following, turn that into real fans in real rooms out in person, and I've been doing this now for like 12 years, and kind of just blown my mind.
It's interesting to think about how you make that transition. The longer form stuff has to be a real challenge for any comedian. You tell jokes at 6 seconds or 15 seconds or a minute at a time, and all of a sudden you need to do long form stuff. Any tricks, hints, tips for folks trying to make that journey like you did? Yeah,
I went from 6 seconds to 30 seconds to 60 seconds to 3 minutes to then stand up, 5 minutes at 10 minute, 60 minutes. So much of my mind it's broken down into jokes. I know, like, I need 60 minutes. I need about 300 to 400 good jokes.
For 60 minutes?
Yeah.
So every 15 seconds you're another yacht.
And when I went from 6 seconds to 60 seconds, it was like, I just got to do that, 8, 9, 10 times.
Right.
And that's how it was overwhelming every step of the way, but I've just been able to figure it out.
Is overwhelming to me, but
yeah.
But because most people would say you can't even do one, buddy. So 400, more power to you. What brought you to the StreamTV show?
I'm here with Creator Television, so they're trying to take great online social media content and put it on your TV, and they hit me up. I was like, that makes total sense to me. Just take my content that's already proven itself that people want to watch it, put it there.
So are they
streaming?
Are they dealing with library content? Everybody
Correct.
like you've had 4 or 5 million people watch a single episode on YouTube that you've done a few times. This stuff is sitting there still gathering views there and monetizing, presumably. But it's also an opportunity. We see some of the traditional media companies going, there's these guys who know how to make shows, and they've got all this stuff already. So this feels like a big new world for people like you.
Right, not only just putting that content that's already worked on streaming platforms, but also take guys like me. Obviously, we've figured something out. How do we turn that into scripted series or really produced out series? And so I think hopefully that's a big part of my next phase of my career is, sure, making TikToks is a lot of fun and I get to be creative and make people laugh, but how can I take what I've developed and those skills to your real TV set with like an episodic scripted series or whatever that is? That really excites me, and I think you're going to see a lot of people in my position start to get into those spaces and succeed.
It'll be interesting to see how you make that transition, because that scripted traditional Hollywood development is such a pain in the rear, right? And it's a whole different
expensive
dynamic.
and it's
expensive, and lots of people say yes and no. And you've been king of your own domain for a long time. So this is a big new step.
It is, and that's a great point. But I've been in this for over a decade, which being on Vine was, that wasn't cool. People were like, what is he doing with his life? And I remember my grandma calling me like, are you going to get a job, and then I go into Instagram and it's still, I'm paying the bills, but everyone's looking at me like, what? how long is this going to last?
Are you running
How?
drugs? You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
That sort of thing.
And now here we are in 2025. It's like people get it. It makes sense. It's cool. And I think people like me now, we have the respect to go and run projects like these. But it will be weird because I've always been in charge of my creative process. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, we hope you can continue to be in charge of your creative process in your future, and we hope it's as fun and productive as it's been already. With that, we're going to wrap it up. I am David Bloom with Next TMT, here with Trey Kennedy, comedian, TikTok, YouTube guy, and now Hulu special. Look it up. It's only been on for a couple of months. He's got a whole tour coming up in the fall. Thanks.